Stoic philosophy is known for its powerful mental and spiritual exercises to help you deal with life, but it seems limited in its advice on relationships. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher in Rome, argues that to be happy, you must detach from the things and people you love. If you kiss your own child or wife, say to yourself that you are kissing a human being, for when they die, you will not be disturbed. How does that even make sense? Attachment makes relationships possible at all. Let me explain with a story. My first serious relationship at university was with a woman named Amy. She was attractive, intelligent, and understood my weird interest in intellectual topics for their own sake. But when summer began, I wanted our relationship to end. Amy lived in Kansas and we studied in Texas. When the school year ended, I dropped her off as part of my own cross-country trip. But my departure was delayed when her town was struck by a tornado. Fortunately, no real damage transpired, but it is a mark of my youthful immaturity that for the next 2 weeks I found myself hoping for a convenient excuse to escape the relationship, rather than just admitting I wanted to end it. One lesson from this episode is that if you ever fantasize about a natural disaster taking your beloved, it is time to end the relationship. A second turns on reasons related to Epictetus' seemingly terrible advice on detachment. The reasons I couldn't bring myself to end the relationship centered on one point. She hadn't done anything ostensibly wrong. In fact, I spent the majority of our time together feeling like an ass for never caring as much about her as she did for me. I sensed that she needed me to embody a certain ideal that I just could not be. Because she was an avid romance novel reader and moviegoer, I can only imagine she wanted someone like a Hollywood romantic lead. But I am not that guy. As a result, I occupied a relationship space in the gap between her ideal and my real actions. A space we usually call disappointment. No one wants to be in a relationship where they are a constant disappointment. At base, I think this is Epictetus' point. If you treat your loved ones as something they are not, your neediness will make you unhappy and ruin what you do have. You will be Amy. The traditional interpretation of detachment in relationships rests on a misunderstanding. This is not a passage about psychological attachment, but about neediness. I will even defend the view that this kind of detachment is crucial for any good relationship. Detach from needing things. Epictetus' claim comes from his handbook, a compilation of his key ideas by his student Arian. Each statement in the handbook is a condensed version of ideas explored in depth in his discourses. With everything which entertains you, is useful, or of which you are fond, remember to say to yourself, beginning with the very least things, what is its nature? If you are fond of a jug, say, I am fond of a jug, for when it is broken, you will not be disturbed. The real concern here is a mistake about categories. Stoics held that bad logic was the source of many of our life's problems. When I was 4 years old, I had a favorite stuffed animal, a panda bear named Pepe. I took it everywhere and it got beat up. One day, an arm of his began to come apart at the seams. Distressed, I cried. Then my mother came to the rescue and sewed the arm back. Epictetus reminds us that sometimes we act this way about possessions even when we're older. Our possessions can be lost, stolen, or broken. We shouldn't become overly attached to them. We don't need them to be complete people or to live happy lives. How to apply this? This is a mental exercise, a workout routine for your mind. Epictetus is explaining a technique similar to what Tim Ferriss calls fear setting. The idea is to think through what would actually happen if we lost something. Usually, our fears run wild because they don't have concrete details to put boundaries around them. Epictetus tells us to recall the type of being something is so we can put realistic expectations on it. Just ask, what kind of being is this? What is its nature? Then affirm your response by labeling it. I am fond of an X. This will put up realistic boundaries around what you should expect from things. How to detach from needing people. Epictetus continues this reasoning. If you kiss your own child or wife, say to yourself that you are kissing a human being, for when they die, you will not be disturbed. The mistake here is misidentifying the category of being that humans are. There are two ideas about neediness in this passage. Why are you asking more of this person than they can give? Why are you hoping that they will avoid death? The first question turns on the neediness we might have in a relationship. The second raises a deeper issue about the value of human life. In the Discourses, Epictetus illustrates this through Helvidius Priscus, a Roman noble who opposed the emperor Vespasian and was sentenced to death. This was the exchange between them. Vespasian said, "You must not attend the Senate." Priscus replied, "You can prevent me from being a senator, but as long as I am one, I must attend." And Vespasian said, "If you attend, you must remain silent." Priscus replied, "Do not ask for my opinion and I will hold my peace." Vespasian insisted, "But I must ask for your opinion." Priscus answered, "And I must answer what seems to me right." And Vespasian warned, "If you speak, I shall put you to death." Priscus said, "When did I ever tell you that I was immortal? You will do your part and I will do mine." Epictetus' point is that the measure of a human life is not its length but its value. If you act with integrity and virtue, your life has all the value it could have. Whether it is long or short does not change that. The opposite of neediness is integration. The opposite of neediness isn't self-sufficiency, it is integration, accepting all parts of yourself as they are. James Stockdale, a fighter pilot in the Vietnam War, was shot down and captured, spending nearly 8 years in a Hanoi prison. As his plane crashed, he thought, "I'm leaving the world of technology and entering the world of Epictetus." The tortures aimed to break prisoners through shame. Stockdale observed, "The thing that brings down a man is not pain but shame. To overcome shame, you don't simply reframe it. You acknowledge what happened and make peace with it." In the prison camps, men welcomed each other back from torture with, "Listen, pal, there are no virgins in here. We are all in this together. What's your name?" That's how you beat shame, not by ignoring it, but by facing it. Happiness, integration, authenticity. Stoic happiness is about tranquility, integrating all aspects of your personality, beliefs, and actions. That requires making peace with your past. Remember the category of things in your life. Remember the character of people in your life. Remember to forgive others. Remember to make peace with your own past. Epictetus says, every event has two handles, one by which it can be carried and one by which it cannot. If your brother does you wrong, don't grab it by his wrongdoing. Instead, use the handle that he is your brother and you will carry it. If you found value in this, subscribe for more Stoic insights.